Hola Portugal lovers, hola food lovers, Stuart here with another food review video. I'm standing outside the restaurant that we're going to have lunch at today, Alto dos Ventos, here in central Portugal, and I'm going to say this is a very, very popular restaurant. Lots of workers coming into the restaurant for their lunch today. We're just off a main road, and as I said, very busy, very popular, and I'm really looking forward to the meal today to see if we're going to get good value for money and good quality food here in this restaurant. So without further ado, let's go and sit down and get stuck into the food. Vamos! Now looking around this restaurant, a very informal restaurant, I will say. It's on the side of the road, so I imagine it's one of these typical places here in Portugal that workers come to for their lunch, also truck drivers as well, I imagine. Lots of families having lunch here. It's packed out. We're in the coffee shop part of the restaurant here, because the restaurant part, as I said, is very, very busy. Prices seem reasonable. I'm going for a classic Portuguese dish today, which my son had the other day, but I'm trying it today. So really looking forward to the food experience today. Washing it down today with a small beer, local beer. Sagres is the name of this beer. Only really two brands of beer that I can see in this country. We've got Superbox, which comes from the north of the country, and Sagres, which comes from the south of the country. So not a lot of choice when it comes to beer, and they taste fairly much the same. But on a hot day, a cold beer goes down well. And what I will say about these places, these popular restaurants here in Portugal, is that not only do they get busy, but they get very, very noisy as well. But I reckon that's a good sign, because the food must be good. I've also got on the table today some olives, the typical olives here in Portugal, and also a basket of bread. There were 3 slices of bread in here before, now only 1.5, because somebody at the table has a fancy for bread. Now my first course has arrived. I've gone for the soup of the day, a vegetable soup I have on the table here, sopa de legumes, I think it's called in Portuguese. I'm going to look at exactly what's going on in this soup here. Dave, come and have a closer look. So you can see that we've got a thick vegetable soup. We've got chickpeas in here as well, other types of vegetables as well, and it does look very, very appetizing. So let's see. Not bad. And this is one thing I like about Portugal. If you are a soup lover like myself, Portugal is the country for you, because virtually every restaurant at lunchtime has a soup of the day, and sometimes even different types of soup as well. So soup lovers rejoice in this country. And I'm going to say this is a nice bowl of soup. It's creamy, it's consistent. The vegetables down the bottom give it a nice touch as well, a bit of texture. So I'm impressed by this soup. And for me, the perfect way to start the meal today. Let's try some of the local bread. As you guys know, the bread here in Portugal is fantastic. Look at that. Let's dip it into the soup, and we'll also check out the soup's consistency. Wow. So the soup's almost finished. I'm finally getting through this huge bowl of soup. I'm a little bit hot. The temperature outside is around 25, 26 degrees Celsius. And with a warm soup, obviously, my body temperature has risen. But I'm not complaining. Look at the chickpeas at the bottom of this soup. Very, very tasty indeed. And now, time to wait for the main. So the main courses have arrived. As you can see, I've gone for the classic Portuguese dish, porco alla lentejana, which is the house special today, I believe. Plenty of pork on this side of the plate, plenty of potatoes on the other side of the plate as well. Fried potatoes in cubes, they seem to be. Let's see the quality of these potatoes. Lovely, well fried, well seasoned, and the perfect accompaniment, I think, to this dish. And it's the way this dish is always served. We've got pickles on top here as well. We've got clams. We've got pork, which has been marinated beforehand in white wine, bay leaf, and also in a paprika type paste, I believe. And the smells coming off this are wonderful. And I'm looking forward to see how tender this pork is here. Let's see. So the pork is tender. My only complaint is that it's not very hot. That's my only complaint. I'm not going to send it back because I don't like my food too hot. My partner, for example, has sent her dish back to get it heated up, but I'm going to stick with this because, as I said, I don't mind my food at this temperature. The chips are hot, that's for sure, but the pork, not so much. But to be honest, I've got no complaints. Let's try one of these clams. And this is the classic Portuguese version of surf and turf. Turf, the pork, surf, the clams. And honestly speaking, I reckon I'm going to struggle to finish this dish today. What I will say is that the other two mains on the table, my son's meal and my partner's meal, look quite appetizing. So hopefully they're going to let me try them. In fact, I'm going to get a piece of my son's meal here now. He's gone for a house specialty, which is a piece of steak, which has bacon, cheese, and egg on top, and also some type of sauce. It looks appetizing. Let's see. You can see the quality of the beef that we've got going on here. Perfectly cooked. Seems to be tender. That's nice. Now I'm about halfway through this dish here, and I'm going to say there's an interesting combination of flavors going on. You've got the vinegar taste coming from the pickles. You've got the pork taste as well, the marinated pork, and also the juices that it comes in here as well. An interesting combination of flavors. The clams haven't got a lot of flavor. In fact, they're a little bit bland, but the rest of the flavors going on the plate are fairly good. Now the objective is going to be to finish off the meat. I don't reckon I'm going to be able to get through these potatoes, especially if I want to have a dessert. Maybe they've got a nice house dessert here as well. So I'm just going to try and get through the meat. Wish me luck. Still going, slowly getting through it. All right, last piece of pork. Final clam, and a couple more of these beautifully fried potatoes in this sauce. Wow. And I'm going to leave this one here because I want to try what my partner's got on the table, which also looks quite tasty. Now this food that I have in front of me here, my partner's dish, is called bacalhau espiritual, I think it's called, which translates into English as spiritual cod. I think that would be the translation. And what have we got going on? Well, we've got more potatoes, we've got cod inside here as well. I think there's some type of egg holding it all together, and melted cheese on the top with carrot running through there as well. It looks interesting, I'm going to say. Let's see what the flavors are like. So as you would expect, cod is the dominant flavor, salted cod, which is very, very popular here in Portugal. And the other flavors going on in there as well, coming out of the creaminess of the egg, for example, and also the potatoes. An interesting combination, I will say, and the first time I think that I've seen this on menus here in Portugal. So first for me. And there's some good sized chunks of cod in the dish, I will say. The potatoes are well cooked. Interesting, but I can't eat too much more of that because, believe me, I'm not going to have room for dessert. Now dessert has arrived. They didn't seem to have any house desserts like I've had in other places here in Portugal. They only seem to have cakes on offer, so that is what I have gone for here. Apparently this is a lemon and coconut pie, or a cake if you like. Let's see what the taste is like. Let's see what the textures are like. It's very moist, I can tell from just cutting into it. Let's see what the flavors are like. So the first things that I can taste biting into this cake are indeed the coconut and the lemon. Dominating flavors coming out. The consistency is perfect. It's a moist cake, as I said before, and I'm going to say a decent way to finish off the meal today. So dessert's finished, the meal is finished. Time to ask for the bill, pay for the bill, and give my final thoughts on the food today and the restaurant experience. Stay tuned for that. So the bill has arrived, the bill has been paid. How much do you think we've paid for the meal today? 3 people eating, well, I'll tell you, 43 euros and 60 cents at this restaurant here. Around 14 euros per person, so pretty good value for money, I will say. And the portion sizes, as you guys saw, were quite large. I'm going to break it down. A small coffee, 90 cents. A litre and a half of water, €1.20. Half a litre of white wine, €1.80. A small beer, €1.10. A large beer, €2.50. A pint, €2.50. We've got a can of iced tea, €1.50. 2 desserts, €3.60. So $1.80 each. My son's dish was 11 euros, my dish was 10 euros, and my partner's dish was 10 euros as well. So 43 euros and 60 cents. So as I said, value for money in this restaurant here. A popular restaurant here in Portugal, a very popular restaurant, busy restaurant, lots of workers coming in, and no doubt for the quality of the food, the size of the dishes, and also for the price. The rating for the dish that I had, I'm going to give it a solid 4.2 out of 5. Fairly stock standard porco alla lentejana that I've had here in Portugal. Didn't vary, seems to taste the same no matter where you go, so a 4.2. The soup that I had at the beginning of the meal, which I don't think we've been charged for here, so we might have to say something about that, but the soup, a solid 4.2 out of 5 as well. My son was happy with his meal, 4.2. My partner was happy also with her meal, 4.2. So 4.2 in general for the food. The service of the restaurant, very good, 4.5. The atmosphere in the restaurant, very busy, very noisy, 4.2. So around the 4.2, 4.3 mark for the food and restaurant experience today. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below if it was indeed value for money. Let me know. Other questions and comments, please leave them in the section below. If you have anything to add to the conversation today, the comment section is the place for you. Give the video a thumbs up if you liked it, thumbs down if you didn't. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so that you never miss a video when I publish it. Until the next one, até logo from Central Portugal.